Hey, Chris, I hope all is well. Um,
Danny, how are you?
good, man. Hey, I just want to ask you about Nacho. You guys went against him back in week 12, but going again against him on the big stage. I know you guys were really close when he was back in Kansas City. What's it like going up against him?
It's great. Unfortunately, we don't keep in communication that often anymore, but it should be good. Nacho taught me a lot while he was here, especially how to his work ethic. So it's always good to go against guys that you have previously played with and kick their butts.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Sam McDowell.
Hey, Chris, I had two things for you, but the first thing I just wanted to ask you about is, if you can backtrack to the summer, Patrick Mahomes made some comments just about social justice, and obviously you released a statement as well. How do you think that just changed? Because obviously Patrick's got the platform he's got. Can you sort of assess how that changed just his place within the city and his standing within Kansas City?
I don't think it's more so changed anything. I think what he done, he actually brought more awareness to what's actually taking place with social injustice. And I think by him speaking out and speaking out against what's going on actually, you know, helped bring more awareness to what's really going on. And I think a lot of athletes partake in that type of feel of speaking out and against social injustice. And I think it helped us as a brotherhood, also us as a league, kind of overcome a lot of things that people normally doesn't see or doesn't notice that's going on in this world.
And then just there was that moment on opening night where you guys felt did that moment of unity where there were at least some boos, but I'm wondering, as the season progressed, did you guys feel supported in this context?
I know we support each other. I think with this brotherhood that we have, as long as we support each other, we got each other's back. I think that's the most important thing. Some people are going to disagree with our opinions and our statements on it, but as long as we support each other, especially in this locker room and on this team, then we don't really focus on what other people have to say about us.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Joshua Allen.
Hey, Chris, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Coach Spags has been kind of known as the guy who dug up the kryptonite for Tom Brady back in that 2007 Super Bowl with a strong interior pressure. Have you looked back at that game film at all to see what he did originally? And then how important is it for you to get off to a good start at pressuring up the middle to get to Tom Brady?
No, I haven't had time to go look at the game that Spags played. I'm more so focused on the games that Tampa Bay played this year and our defense this year than previous years. But I think, Coach Spags brought a different type of energy to this defense, and we began to prevail in ways throughout the season. I think this defense still haven't hit its peak yet. I still think we can improve on things, and I think we still could continue to get better.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Jess Stainbrook.
Hey, Chris. So big game coming up for you guys, but I want to know if you, how you set your priorities after the game is over and the teams leave the field. Peyton Manning always said faith, family, friends, then football. How do you relate to that statement in terms of your priorities post-game?
Oh, that's what it's all about, man. Your faith and your family and football. I used to have that on my college wall in my dorm. Faith, family, and football. So, I live by those same rituals. I actually wear a bracelet that says I am second to always remind me who I'm playing for and my abilities on the field, that I played through the glory of God, and football. Family and football comes right after that.
Okay, next up, we are going to go to Diana Rossini.
Hey, Chris. Yesterday I was talking to Frank just about what makes Brady so hard about taking him down. And he shared like all this insight about Brady's shoulders and this like shimmy he does. He's like, you got to ask Chris about it. Ask him about it. So I wanted to ask you about it. You're watching this guy on tape. You played him before. Explain what this is, this unique talent
Listen, Tom Brady doesn't have the best feet, but those shoulders are ridiculous. It's hard to get to him because he moves his shoulder in ways. It's like when you're skating and you know how your body is moving different ways. He can move his shoulders like that. And I actually got broken off by Tom Brady his last year at New England. I was going to make a sack and he dipped his right shoulder and got out of the sack. Tom Brady is slithery with those shoulders. He's dangerous. That's why it's so hard to get to him. He don't really take big hits. If he see you coming, he'll go down. But if you don't have a good hit on him, he'll dip those shoulders like no other. He's dangerous with those shoulders. He's very dangerous. His pocket awareness is up there.
Okay, next up, we're going to go to Len Jennings.
Hey, Chris, hope you're doing well. Talking to Spags the other day, we found out that his wife has been unable to cook for you guys this year. And I know how big a deal that was with the meatballs and the banana pudding. And how much have you missed that this season that she hasn't been able to cook for you guys?
What a coincidence. I actually asked Spags about the meatballs today. Me and him, I had to pull him to the side and have a one-on-one heart-to-heart with him. I was telling him I haven't asked you all year to, for your wife to prepare meatballs under the circumstances. But, with this being a huge game and last year, meatballs were prepared before the Super Bowl. It's something I was expecting. I'm very superstitious, and she made them last year. I was looking forward to them this year, and he told her it's okay. And I was telling him, what about the motto that we live by? Team first, team last, and team always. And, that's a part of the team ritual, So I got to do a little more convincing, hoping his wife can open up and have enough time just to, prepare me a single made of meatballs.
Next up, we're going to go to Cherie Cruz.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much for that story. You had me laughing over here with the meatball. Wanted to get your thoughts first on how that whole team first, team second, team last mentalities played into a COVID season and how that's got you guys to this point being so connected. And then second, has Mahomes talked to you about preparing for a baby, and would you babysit his daughter to be?
Well, listen, I'm not good with babies. I'm good with kids. Like my kids are 3-year-old and 5-year-old, and they get excited when they see a baby come around. I don't know if Pat want me to babysit his child at that young of an age. My kids are adventurous. And they would try to feed the baby. They would have that baby eating Sour Punch straws and all type of stuff that the baby doesn't need at that age. So, I wouldn't mind if him and Brittany want me to, but I don't think they want to move that fast, and I don't know if they want to move that fast. Me and him, I had a talk with him about it and congratulating him on the big accomplishment, I started a little early for having the kids. I wanted to be a young father. And, the best of luck, Pat, the best of luck to him and Brittany on their newborn. What was the other part? I forgot the other part of the question. I'm sorry. I was just so flattered by the babysitting thing.
It was, I'll speak. It was the team first, team last, team always. How has that played into this COVID season?
The team first, team last, and team always was a huge part of this year because with all the circumstances that's going on, especially with COVID, I mean, if you follow the team rules, which would be putting the team first and following the rules, then, and we can overcome this as a team, and that goes by the team first, team last, and team always mentality. Think about your decisions. Think about how would you affect the team within your decisions that you make outside of the facility. And that kind of was echoed throughout the building on the decisions we made to keep guys protected and keep people, families safe.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Harold Kuntz.
Hello, Chris, the pride of Houston, Mississippi. How you doing, man?
H-Town Finance, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Hey, we just talked to Tyreek Hill, and he said Patrick Mahomes has been throwing dots in practice, and he's been it seems like he's been a lot more paying to attention and really accurate in practice. Not just him, but have you seen that at the whole team? Do you feel that the attention level has just been at a 10 this week with 2 weeks to prepare, being at your facility for such a big game? How do you feel the team has just really got on their P's and Q's?
I think everyone's dialed in. I honestly do. I think from the scout team, from the special team guys, I think everyone is dialed in and focused on the task at hand. My coach actually praised the scout team today. I actually got a little offended by that. I told them praise them after we win the Super Bowl. Don't praise them right now. Don't let them know they're doing good right now. We don't need no pats on the back, But I think everyone is dialed in and locked in and focused on the task at hand.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Jory Epstein.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for your time today. I've spoken with several of your teammates about the social justice efforts y'all have done this year, whether it's voter registration or working on diversity education in schools. What stands out to you about what y'all have done in the conversations you've had surrounding these issues?
What stands out the most is the amount of players that came together to partake in this. It was amazing to see how many guys stepped up, used their platform as a positive to promote and raise awareness to things that's going on that a lot of people doesn't get to see or a lot of people doesn't experience. And for a lot of guys from different races to come together and all reach common grounds and find a way to improve this world, to me, that was shocking.
Okay, next up, we're going to go to Sarin Petro.
Chris, I know a lot of you guys, most everybody's back, right? The Run It Back tour on this team, but your journey is a little bit different than everybody's in the sense that your contract came up in the middle. And I remember, 8-9 months ago, watching you sitting somewhere in Miami, right? Having the press conference to announce that you were going to be back with the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And there was question on that. And so this has been kind of a roller coaster for you. Was there a time between that last Super Bowl and when we had that press conference where that contract got done that you thought maybe you weren't going to be here for this? And does that make it a little bit sweeter that it did all come together?
It's crazy. You're probably the first person I told this. During the game, they had Frank Clark mic'd up, and the Chiefs never put this out, but I looked at Frank around third quarter. I'm like, man, this might be our last time playing together, because I didn't know. I know Pat had to get his deal done. And that was going to take a lot of the salary cap, and I didn't know if the Chiefs were going to be able to bring me back. But I'm very fortunate, to still be a part of this team, still be with a coach like Coach Andy Reid and Spags. I'm very fortunate, and I was ready to come back. I didn't want to leave Kansas City. This is the team that believed in me since day one. Them, Ryan Nutt, Brett Veach, the Hunt family, Mr. Donovan, they all took a chance on the kid. John Dorsey was the GM at that time. And, I'm just appreciative that those guys took a chance on the kid from Houston and went to Mississippi State, and I wanted to stay with this team.
Okay, next up, we're going to go to Pete Sweeney.
Hey, Chris. I'm sure you might have gotten this week, but I haven't heard it, so I'm just going to ask you. I know you're very, very, very fond of Spags and what he can do, and Andy Reid has mentioned that he's probably going to get a head coaching opportunity in the next few years. What qualities in Spags would potentially make him a good head coach?
What qualities? I don't want to say too much good stuff about Spags. I have to keep him on his toes. But Spags is he's a great guy. He's a heck of a leader. He gets you to buy in. I think more so by being with this defense and being with Coach Spags. I had Bob Sutton at the beginning, and Spags brought a different type of energy to the building just by the way he coached. He's a player's first coach, even though me and him disagree a lot. And I feel like he has his favorites. I think he's a DB coach at heart, because you look at the last 4 games, the DB is getting all the sacks. And I think he's a DB's coach at heart. But I love Spags, man. He's a great guy. He's a player's coach. And it's easy for guys to buy in. It's easy for guys to buy into Spags because, you know, he speaks the truth, and he's relatable.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Rob Collins.
Hey, Stone Cold, greetings from Tampa. You'd be glad
Rob.
to know it's 62 and sunny here, my man.
Oh, sounds amazing. What are you doing on your backyard?
No, man, I'm at the stadium, right outside the stadium.
Or are you in a torpedo chilling?
Well, we can't say that on a Zoom call, man. Come on.
I'm
now.
sorry.
All right, brother. Are you missing out on being here? Tyreek said he wanted to take his family to Busch Gardens. You feel like you're getting left out a little bit, not being down here in the Super Bowl atmosphere?
Not at all. I should love being at home, being able to sleep in my own bed, being able to relax, treating it just like an away game, being on my same schedule that I would be on an away game. No, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything. The only thing I would change is probably the weather. Yesterday it was sunny outside. Today you got snow on the ground. So, you know, Kansas City is like a mad woman. You never know what you're going to get.
Okay, next up, we're going to go to Susie Colbert.
Okay, I have two things for you. One, since you're so selfish with doling out the sacks, what's the competition just even within your room? Not just the season, we know, but in a game like this.
You know, we got some competitive guys in the room. Not only with me, we got Frank Clark, we got Alex Okafor, you know, we got Tershawn Warren, who was a rookie. We got Colin Sanders, we got Mike Pennell. And it's a competitive good thing because everybody want to be their best and show their best, especially on big time games. So I think that's a good thing for us as a group, and it pushes us as players to be our best, especially during games like this. So, you know, it's very competitive. It gets competitive even on when we're doing 3-point starts. You know, if we're just getting off the ball for a 5-yard burst, it becomes a competitive thing because we got those type of guys in the room.
And then I'll be out at the stadium all day. We'll be kind of wondering just what's the routine? How do you pass such a long day with all that adrenaline and energy? What will you be doing?
I'll probably read the Bible a little bit, listen to a little music, get my nerves calm, watch a game or two, watch an old game or two on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and call my family, FaceTime my kids, and block everything else out.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Phil Jones.
Hey, Chris, how you doing this afternoon?
Phil, how you doing? I was wondering, are we cousins?
You know, I've been wondering that, man. Okay, so I got this for you. So, Chris, your technique, your speed, or strength, or just the combination of them all, what makes you a successful interior rusher in the NFL?
Honestly, I watch a lot of film, and I'm always working to get better. I'm never really satisfied with nothing. I can have 20 sacks in 1 year, I'll still be mad. Feel like I could have got 28. You know, just never being satisfied. I'm always working to get better, honestly.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Jason Alex Fleming. All right, not responding. So we're going to go to Tom Akins.
Chris, you were talking about trying to tackle Tom Brady, but before you tackle him, you got to get to him. How do you guys plan as a unit to keep pressure on Brady so that he is reachable?
I can't really go too in depth on the game plan. Then I'll be spilling the beans. But just the front four got to be relentless. Got a heck of an offensive line. But, you know, we're prepared for it. We just got to be relentless and trust that our back end was give us that extra second to get to him.
Okay, next up, we're gonna go to Patrick Freeman.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Pat, I'm doing pretty good.
I just wanted to ask you, I know you are a father. How difficult has this season been, and especially to make it to the biggest game of the year? But how difficult has this season been for you as a family man to go through that and to make it this far?
I wouldn't call it difficult. I would call it challenging. Some moments in some areas have been very challenging. You know, to one point, I was thinking about bringing my kids to work with me because the school shut down and there was no nannies. All the nannies, you know, had to get tested and everything. So, you know, this was about adjusting and adapting to the new era of 2021. But you know, we was able to overcome it and make it here. And you know, it was a lot of different challenges we faced along the way, but we was able to overcome it.
All right, we're gonna try and go back to Jason Alex Fleming at Florida Sun.
Appreciate your patience. Mr. Jones, how are you, sir?
Jason, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh man, I was just talking to Nadi on the defensive line. That's why I was unable to get to you, but I'm glad I got back to you. Mr. Jones, you've been dominant on the defensive line, and you're one of the reasons why Kansas City is back. I'm not counting the Chargers. You guys had nothing to play for. You guys were basically 15-1. How have you and Clark been so impenetrable on the defensive line to where opposing teams, A, can't run the ball on you, and B, are afraid of the pressure that you're getting on the quarterback?
I honestly give all the props to our DC. Spags put us in a situation to make plays and situations to free us up, to give us one-on-ones. And you know, I done been with Frank for what it was, 2 years, a year or two. I think this is our second year. And I kind of know how Frank rushes and how he plays. So the accountability that we've built along the way, it kind of makes it easy for us. He know how I rushes, I know how he rushes, and you know, we try to work off of each other. And I think as long as we continue to play together, I think we'll continue to get better.
All right, next up, we're gonna go to Patrick Finley.
Hey, how are you?
Patrick, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I'm curious. If you guys win on Sunday, are we in dynasty territory when we talk about you guys winning 2 straight Super Bowls, being a play away from going to a third? And if so, is that anything you guys give any thought to in terms of legacy? You know, there aren't a lot of teams that have been this dominant over a period of multiple years.
Man, I said this years ago that we're building a dynasty. I don't know if people believe me or not, but, you know, that was honestly, I was speaking the truth, you know, and I guess now it's coming in fruition. But, you know, I was speaking at, 2 or 3 years ago when we just had made it to the AFC Championship. So, you know, it comes with time. You know, it comes with winning. So we just got to focus on winning and let that stuff speak for itself.
All right, we got time for one more, so we're going to go to Steve Walls to close it out.
Hey, Chris, what's happening, man?
Steve, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I know last year you, Tyron, and Frank talked about T. Sizzle, Terrell Suggs bringing in, you know, the championship swagger, so to speak, for you guys that hadn't been to a Super Bowl before. Now that you have one, what are you telling young guys like Snead that haven't been in this position?
Have fun. Most importantly, have fun. Don't let the moment be too big for you. Treat it just like a regular game. You know, the only thing about this game is if you lose, it's gonna sit with you a long time. But we didn't come this far to lose. But have fun. Most importantly, don't let the moment get too big for you, and enjoy it. Embrace the moment, because there's not a lot of teams that can make it to this moment. You know, you still got teams that. It's been a decade since they've been here. So, you know, for us to be here is be very fortunate of it. Enjoy it, embrace it, but understand when we on the field, we got to perform.
All right, Chris, thank you for your time, and thank you everyone who joined today.
Guys, thank you. It was amazing. Go Chiefs.